Listen, I'm here today again with another video for you guys, and I'm doing this is the second take I'm doing this, and if it actually doesn't work, you guys are not going to see it on YouTube. If it works, you guys are going to see it. But last time I did this video, it was kind of popular. I didn't really expect to have that many views and likes on the video. That's why I'm doing it again, to maybe get some stuff more out to you guys. And this time I'm going to be talking about some different topics. First of all, I'd like to start off with smartwatches. I think smartwatches are really not popular as people really expected it to be. People expected smartwatches to like blow up or something, but smartwatches are not really popular in such a way that many people are not buying them. But I really like smartwatches, to be honest with you guys, because from when I was young up to now, I've always been wearing watches. I'm a watch guy. I always have my watches with me, and normally this is my normal watch right now, the watch I use, but I've converted to actually using the Teak watch, which is this one, and I use it every single day when I go out. Not every day like on my wrist, but when I go out, I prefer wearing this over this, and it's not because of yeah, so the looks of the other one. The other one is gold and Teak watch isn't, and the other one is like it looks more luxurious and stuff like that. But like what I'm saying, the Teak watch is actually a great watch because as a smartwatch, if I'm in the bus or something, I can actually use it and reply to notifications and stuff like that. If I get a message, I'm able to reply. If I get a call, I'm able to answer the call and different stuffs like that when my phone is in my pocket and maybe I don't have other hands, something to maybe take out my smartphone and start interacting. And it also keeps me away from my smartphone because when I actually leave home, believe it or not, maybe if I'm not reviewing a device, I don't use mobile data when I'm not at home. I switch off the internet. I go off the internet completely, and I go traditional. My phone is in my pocket. If you don't text me by SMS or if you don't call me with a phone call or something, I'll not look at my phone or anything. I actually never check mobile data. Maybe only if I'm going somewhere. Let's say I go for dinner and then maybe earlier than my date, or if I go to a friend's place and he has Wi-Fi, that's when I connect. But rarely do I ever turn on my mobile data or something to connect. And that's how I do my stuff actually. When I leave home, I disconnect completely from the internet to have a kind of different different kind of life, because when I go out, I decide I go out of everything, out of the internet. So with the TikTok, it's actually easier for me when someone maybe texts me or something. It's very easy for me to reply compared to a normal watch. I know people are going to give maybe some flag to smartwatches about things like battery life, but think about it really. A smartwatch does a lot of stuff. A normal watch does nothing. With a smartwatch, you can get all the notifications and stuff. And if you decide to turn that off, like if you turn off a smartwatch, you have a dumb watch that's like a normal watch, and then this watch, the Teak watch, can actually last a week in power saving mode, but that's nothing. It just shows you the time and the battery percentage. It can last a very long time in power saving mode, which will make it like a normal watch. And then if you make it a smartwatch, it lasts 2 days on, let's say, light usage. If it's heavy usage, kind of like because it has an Angry Birds game, or no, not an Angry Birds, a Flappy Bird game. If you use it that way, like heavy stuff on the watch, of course, it's going to die within a day. But it actually takes nothing from me, because when I want to go out, all I do is I put it on the charger, Qi wireless charging, very easy. It charges 1 hour before I go and maybe have a bath, something. Then I come back, dress, and I'm ready to go, and everything 100%, and it can last for a very long while. So I really prefer having a smartwatch over a non-smartwatch, and the looks of it also, it looks nice. So I really like wearing it every single time. Next up, I'd like to talk about some LG fanboys on my videos. Like, it's already getting out of hand, because seriously, to think about it, when I reviewed I made a comparison between the Nexus 6P and Nexus 6P and the LG G4. And in my video, I said a lot of stuff that were good on both, and also stuff that were negative. And it seems like from the looks of it, people who watched the video who were LG fanboys really didn't like it, because of course, for me, I think the 6P is better in many ways. Not only having a better processor, but also for the fact that it has stock Android, it's going to get updates. The camera is really good, because the LG G4's camera, of course, is good, but the real good thing about the LG G4 camera is just the controls also that it has. Because if you're in a kind of situation where you really don't have a lot to do with the camera sensor, something like that, you can control it and get better shots than you have with automatic. But the 6P does an amazing job. Like my graduation recently, in my graduation, all the pictures I took were with the 6p, and they were great. Even turned out to be even better than some. Yeah, okay, there were no professionals, of course, taking the pictures, but turned out to be better than some people with their DSLRs and stuff like that. And shots were really great, like nice. Even a graduation party we had, not the graduation itself, the party we had at Hilton, all at night, shots came out perfect. Like even I will leave some images down below from the 6p. Shots were actually really good with the 6p. So the camera on the 6p is also really good compared to what people think, because it's full auto. Yeah, it's automatic, no controls. You just click and it takes a picture. If you use HDR plus, it's like half a second more, but the shots come out actually really good on the 6p. I'm really impressed with the camera compared to what I was even thinking before I got it, because 12 megapixel and stuff like that, you think it's a useless camera, but actually a very good camera. And I really liked it. So people came and they were not happy, the LG fans, of course. And the funny thing is, I'm personally think LG is the best OEM. It's my choice. It's what I decide, and I decided that LG is the best OEM for me. They always want to improve with their next flagship. They always want their next flagships to be better. They don't take a step back. Usually, with most of their flagships, they put the latest, best, and the greatest technology in their next flagship. They always do that. Compared to other companies that regress a bit on their flagships, LG keeps on going just higher, keeps on increasing, doing the best in their latest flagship. You can check that out actually. From the G4 down to the V10, they always try to improve. And for me, that's LG. That's why LG is my best OEM. The improvement is always there. There's nothing like, no, we're going to take this out and then nothing. And I think next year with the G5, maybe they're going to do, of course, they will not have a removable battery, but I think what's going to happen is we have either maybe slightly worse battery life than the G4 or the same battery life as the G4. But there'll probably be USB-C and also very fast charging, which is going to help a lot. And I think that's how they're going to go, because if they want to make the phone all metal, I don't see, except LG has done something miraculous to be able to have a removable battery and metal. But I don't think we're going to have a metal phone with a removable battery. We'll have an SD card slot, I think. But that's how it's going to go. And for me, LG is my best OEM. You can even, if you even actually want to check me out, my root method I made for the LG G4 is actually the second most popular root method. I used the tool from the first root method and another one, root injection. I made the second most popular root method for the LG G4. You can actually check it out. And also for the fact that I reduced the icons on the status bar and nav bar for the G4, because I think they're actually too big. So I made a theme and even a guide on how anyone else can do that, reducing the icons and stuff like that. Slightly painless, sometime in Photoshop and stuff like that. And then if you have more skill, you can even dive into maybe the APKs and stuff and modify. But I made all of that for the LG G4. So when people come out and say like I'm a Nexus fanboy or stuff like that, no, not really. LG has a problem. I think the looks of their software, not the functions and not the speed. Because yeah, the speed, I can say the G4 is maybe kind of laggy because of the processor and optimization, because it's not a Nexus device. But of course the speed of the 6p is way better than G4, because it almost never lags compared to like the G4, that even when I scroll in Nova Launcher I get lags. But the G4 is actually a really good phone, really great phone. I just think the interface looks ugly, or maybe others are not going to think it looks ugly. For me, it looks ugly compared to what stock Android has to offer. The material design in the 6p, all the elements are really great. So that has been it lately for things on the LG G4. So nextly, I would like to talk about also lazy comments. Like, it's crazy. Like, you make these videos for people to watch. You make YouTube videos for people, and you talk about something, and in the comments, someone still comes and asks you a question about what you spoke about in the video. And it's just really strange, because this video about the G4 versus the 6p, it's funny. I did I think I really went in depth with the camera comparison between the G4 and the 6p, and someone still came and asked me which one is better. Of course, in the video I never really said which one was better. I just pointed out the weaknesses in both, with both cameras and both devices in different cases. But still, someone came and asked me which one is better, and I think that's a problem. Like, if you watch the video and you saw what happened, you will decide for yourself which one is better. Of course, for me, I said it's 6p because it's almost effortless to take a picture and stuff like that. But a G4 for more controls, like if you're somebody who usually works maybe with a DSLR or something, you want something like a DSLR companion that has settings and that you can put on a tripod and get great pictures. Let's say like smooth flowing water and rivers, or let's say night trails, that kind of photography stuff. Great on the G4. The 6P is never going to give you that. You don't have the settings. And even manual camera, people always say, oh, use manual camera. It's crap. Manual camera is crap. It doesn't actually, the controls are not as good as those on G4. I've tried both. The G4's manual controls beat manual camera any day. And that's the thing. So, and then some other commenters came and told me about this thing on the 6P, like using sRGB mode to correct color settings. Like sRGB mode is just a toggle. It's not even an in-depth correction of the color settings on the 6P, which is crazy. sRGB mode is almost nothing. You know, it's just a toggle, and then you have it's just like almost no controls whatsoever. So I said in my review, the 6P doesn't have control, like display color controls. And some people came and said use sRGB mode. It doesn't really make sense because that's almost no control over anything. I use a custom kernel and I use other tweaks which I can change the gamma, saturation, the different colors like the red, greens, and blues. I can actually do that, and the full controls come only with root and a custom kernel. There is no way to control your 6-piece display without using a custom kernel. sRGB mode just mutes the colors a little bit. That's all. That's all it does. It doesn't solve the warm tint. It doesn't solve anything else. So if you want to get the best out of the display on your 6P, rotate, get a custom kernel that solves that stuff, and you're done. sRGB mode is bare bones rubbish. And lastly, also for the fact that this thing, why I shoot in 1080p instead of like 4K or something like that. And I really think 1080p is better than 4K in terms of like, because YouTube doesn't support at 4K 60 frames per second. And I really prefer 60 frames per second instead of shooting in 4K, because when I tell you a device is laggy or stuff, I actually show you how it is. And if you're watching at maybe 720p 60 or 1080p 60, you can actually see the device flowing. You can see the interface and everything. If it lags, you will see it lag. If it doesn't lag, you will not see it lag. And that's how I show you guys my videos. 60 frames per second is it's like the best, I think, for especially for those doing tech videos. It's great because you can actually show the interface. If it doesn't lag, you're going to see it. If it lags, you're going to see it also. Compared to 4K, 4K is just cinematic stuff. You're doing movies, or let's say you're doing little clips, films, and stuff like that. You can do your 4K, but if you're doing mobile, especially mobile technology, where you have to show people the interface, or gaming, where you have to show how smooth everything is, you have to do at least 60 frames per second. If you can do more, do it, but at least 60 frames per second so that you can actually show the frames and the transitions of the whole software and the interface. And that's why I do 1080p 60 instead of 4K. If 4K 60 is available, I don't know, tell me in the comments, but if 4K 60 is available, then maybe that's what I should think about and maybe upgrade to have something that can do 4K 60. But for now, 1080p 60 is the win. And that's why I always shoot with Sony, no matter what. Sony cameras for the win. So that was it, guys, for the video. If you like it, of course, leave me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you guys watching these videos like uncut, me just going straight at it and saying what's on my mind. And subscribe also. I'll be happy to have you guys on my channel to watch my videos and stuff like that. So subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and see you guys in the next one.